really.
And then we cut, and my dad tries to give me a wedgie. You know, it's like.
Drinks too much. Was never around. We didn't speak for years. But I'm twerking on it.
My God! Why are you shaking your nalgas for the whole world to see?
I'm connecting with other women who have daddy issues.
So when I first saw the pilot, I was like, yee, dirty laundry. I was like, wow.
Yep.
Mayan, you're brave to put this out there because most people would shy away from it. And then when Debby came calling and said like, hey, would you like to put it on the show and put it on the national level? Were you a little hesitant? Because, TikTok is one thing, but like carrying it out on broadcast is different.
Yeah, in a way, I think my dad and we both, without hesitation, said yes to the opportunity because I think we saw how, it's not out of the realm of things for me because I saw the George Lopez show, the original show, and it was my dad's life if he didn't become a stand-up comedian. And so, with the dynamic with the grandmother, already saw that with my grandma Benny. And so in a way I kind of saw through my life how much that impacted people always coming up to me and saying like, that's my family, regardless of like color, race, anything. Like it's about a family. And I think that was so important to me with Lopez versus Lopez. I was like, I am willing to put myself out there, and this is a very unique relationship of a father, a daughter. I think that is struggling to reconnect and showing people that you don't have to be perfect to heal. And it's not possible in every family, but I'm very grateful that it's possible in mine, and showing other people that hopefully can relate to it. And it's been really positive so far. So I'm just very grateful that my story is one that a lot of people can relate and draw from.
And Debby, for you, what did you bring to the table as far as like, because they're not just going to put their lives in the hands of anybody, so how do you sell it to her saying like, hey, look, I'm going to take great care. It's not going to be like sensationalized,
right,
comedy,
right.
There's a lot of things that you have to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I honor Mayan and George for putting their trust in me because they didn't know me. But, I also had the backing of Bruce Helford, who, worked on the original Lopez show, and he's like family to them. And he said, I've worked with Debby and I think also like my training, my background, I worked on shows like One Day at a Time. I worked on The Connors. I worked on these sitcoms that are very, are very real, very authentic. And relate to and resonate with a large audience. So I think that George and mine knew were familiar with my resume and were willing to put that trust in me. And also I'm a Latina too, and I related to them on another deeper level. With the cultural aspect. I was raised by a very strong-willed Latina mom, and I come from my own dysfunctional Latino family. So like I related on a personal level to many of the stories that George and Mayan had. And so I think the first time we met, like I just felt like they were family immediately. I think there was just an immediate connection and familiarity. And so I think we just knew from first meeting that like this was going to be a great partnership, and it has been. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. Debbie and I bonded over our mutual daddy issues very quickly. Very quickly.
Yeah, I have a ton of daddy issues.
Oh yeah.
Well, I saw the episode with the Spanish versus English, and I was like, finally somebody addresses it.
Yeah, see, I had trouble learning because I had a speech delay, so I had trouble learning English, and so my parents were like, do not teach her Spanish. And I just have a lot of linguistic things with it. I still always want to learn, but always with the Latin community, I'm like, even since that episode come out, people are, it's a very mix of that she shouldn't be a representative. It's like, or people are like, thank you for telling that story. I can't make everyone happy, but I know I'm telling other people's story. The no sabes kids of the world.
Kids,
yeah, the no sabes kids. And it's true. It's like even life imitating art. Like that happened to me. I was trying to buy a cowboy hat for my friend's cosmic desert like alien cowboy party, and I texted Debbie. I was like, I went to this swap meet and I couldn't. Like I knew it was like authentic because there was $70 like window tinting in the back in the parking lot. But I told Debbie, I was like, I can't speak Spanish. My mom, I tried to FaceTime my mom. She wouldn't you know, and I was so ashamed that I left, and I immediately texted Debbie and I was like, this has to be an episode.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, even with things like, it's really life imitating art, and we take inspiration from not just my stories but Debbie's stories, the
Yeah.
writers, and just the Latinx community.
Yeah,
as a
so
whole.
I was raised by you know, my mom's Salvadorian, my dad is Jewish, and he doesn't speak Spanish, and so you know, I think she felt the pressure to speak English, and also I think coming over as an immigrant, she felt the pressure to assimilate, and she wanted her children to not have an accent, and so
Mhm.
she purposely did not teach me. And then now in my older age, it's very funny. She shames me for it.
Yeah.
She's like, and I'm like, but you didn't teach me. And she's like, you didn't want to learn. I was like, I was 5. I also didn't want to, like, you know, go to the bathroom in the toilet.
Yeah.
You forced me to do that. So, but you know, so it was definitely something I think a lot of people could relate to, that specific
Yeah.
episode. I'm glad we got to do it.
All
My
right.
favorite
So Salvadorian here too.
Yay!
I'm Mexican. Salvadorian Mexican.
Hey, there we
Yes.
go. Good comment.
So I wanted to ask for you, Mayan, is this show very cathartic? Because like I said, it deals with real life issues for you and your dad. And then when you hear some of those words, you're like, oh, it kind of like hits you in the heart. And you're like, oh, what how they feel when they read the words. And do you guys look at each other and be like,
Yeah, there's sometimes after some takes where we kind of have to, I kind of pat him on the back. I'm like, are we okay? Like, are you okay? And but I think that's what it's like. It's always, it has been challenging. It hasn't always been easy, but I think as an actor and as someone who has worked tirelessly to make their lives easier, like I've tried to take responsibility for my own suffering. You know, it may have been my parents' mistake, but it's my responsibility to like make sure that my life is the one that I want to live. And I, you know, being able to put myself there, I know that it's bigger than me. I know every day I was like, this is going to be important for the culture. I'm like, it's important for people. I was like, there are going to be people that are going to thank me for doing this. And I'm willing to put myself in that situation to do that. And I think it was also beautiful to see my dad and I's relationship from almost a third party view, because my character Mayan, I thought at first, I was like, oh, I've been in therapy, I'm going to be teaching her things. And really, she's kind of a person that I aspire to. Because even sometimes we were rehearsing and they'd be like, Mayan, you read that line a little angry, but it was me and not, I call her Mayan, I call her sitcom Mayan. And I was like, I'm just sorry. I just looked at him and that's just what came out. So I've had to like have a dial that I have, because I make the joke. I'm like, I could go full HBO with it if you guys wanted me to, but you know, we're laughing for 30 minutes. And there's a lighty, but I think you can see on screen that there are moments that it's a real father and daughter talking. And I think that brings it authenticity and a realness to a show that is very unique.
A real sweetness, and it's very heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we cut. My dad tries to give me a wedgie. You know, it's like still at 26 years old. So it's just like, yep, that's my dad. Like,
well, yeah, really standout show. You don't really have issues that even the Connors. It's kind of like it's a little further away, I guess, because they're not Latinos, but here it's really closer to home.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't need acting direction. I got this. I got this. It's like, you know, it's like, no, I let me handle it. I got it from here.
And we all get it. It's so very every day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations, and fingers crossed, season 2.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'm so glad you enjoyed the show, and hearing Salvi loves the show, that brings me so much joy.
Representing both.
Yes.
Yes.